Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Back in the Revolved Realty studio for this year's edition of Real Talk, somewhat live. We're live at the moment.
Live-ish.
Live-ish. We're recording live. Eventually we'll do lives, but we're just getting back in the saddle. Tim Knox with Revolved Realty, along with my partner, Chelsea McKinney, and our good friend, Stephen Allen of Calibur Home Loans. How are we? We were just talking. The last time we did a video, you did not have a baby.
I was trying to think about that. I was like, was I even pregnant the last time we did a video? Maybe I was, but it's been a while because I have a 4.5-month-old. So. And
where is he? Mr. Archer.
Mr. Archer is at home with his Auntie C. Thank you for babysitting, C.
We really are raising this kid with a village. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's everybody's pitching in. Stephen Allen, Calibur Home Loans. You've changed horses since we last spoke, but this horse you're on seems to be riding pretty well.
Fastest one I've been on yet.
Yeah, tell us about Calibur Home Loans.
Calibur's been around for quite a while. It's really a strong name in the business. Really, for me, it was more about what can I do for my clients. Mm-hmm. Calibur gave me the best options to be able to do that.
Cool beans. Well, we are resuming hopefully every week. We're going to get back together and do the Real Talk show. This week, I want to talk about interest rates because, I mean, what are interest rates now for new home loans?
Well, it depends on
as of noon.
It changes by the minute. It's crazy. I was telling someone the other day, I've never in my career seen rates do what we've done right now. I mean, historically, you see a little bit of movement. You go on and you lock a rate at 30 days for a closing, and you normally kind of close, and the rates are similar to what they were. Mm-hmm. We're seeing ridiculous numbers. In some cases, it's a whole 100 basis points or 1% less between 30 days ago and now.
Wow.
That rate's are.
So what's the current rate as of today?
Today, I locked one at 2.875.
Cool. When was the last time interest rates were that low?
Wow.
On a 30-year, I can't recall.
Yeah.
15 years, you always historically at times have been able to get down that low, but in the twos on 30 years, it's really crazy to get that low.
And what do you attribute this to? I think it's the coronavirus driving interest rates. I don't know. Why are they so low? Why are they dropping?
Really, the main thing I see is market conditions right now are very volatile. You're looking at a lot of people not knowing what's going on. You have, it's a political year, first and foremost. Then you have this virus that's going on. Then you have everything else that's happening in the market. It's just everything is adding up to be just kind of the perfect storm for rates. And, rates are not linked to the Fed rate, which what most people think. It resembles, but it's not linked to. So, I mean, we're looking at the rates fall, but they're linked to the 10-year Treasury yield. So when you're looking at the 10-year Treasury bond rate, that's what is a reflection of where the mortgage rates are going. And it always cracks me up. I'll take a side note here. It cracks me up when I watch all these lenders online. They'll post, the rates just got cut 0.5%. Well, that's true. That's the borrowing rates. The rates that you get your savings rate, whenever you're going and you're paying for your credit card, you're buying a car. Those are the rates that got cut. Mortgage rates aren't tied to that. So it's a whole different ballgame. If you ever see a lender that says rates just got cut 0.5%, they don't know the full story.
Right.
Interesting.
And I don't think people realize how much just a fraction of a percentage point makes how much of a difference in a 30-year.
So, for example, a 30-year mortgage, if you were at 3.5%, you may be looking at $150 more than where we could lock today.
Right.
And if you think about that, 360 payments on a mortgage is typically what you'll make. Times that by 360, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot that you save.
Well,
I know one thing that you're doing for me. You're doing the refi on my house. Let's talk a little bit about all the people coming out of the woodwork to do refinancing.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, well, as am I.
Yours is pretty fun, though.
Yeah,
Mine's super
we're going to talk about yours. It's very fun and creative. Mine's pretty boring, which I like.
So the refinances right now, you're finding a lot of people are getting into a home, because if you've purchased a home at least 6 months ago, or it's been 6 months since you've refinanced, it's time to look again.
Right.
It's weird.
Even though it's only been 6 months.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's time to look again, because it is so incredible the way that things have changed in the last 6 months, yet alone the last 30 days, that it makes sense for you to take another look at it. The biggest factor that I see are people who are in a home, have been there for 2 years, they're at 4.25%, which, let's talk about that. A year ago, that was a decent rate, 4.25. Now we're talking 2.875.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
You know, and so refinances, if you have been in your home at least 6 months, it's still a great time to make that move and start talking to someone.
Yeah. Well, I know with us, we refinanced 3 years ago on a 15-year. We had a 3.75 interest rate. And even though it's only been 2 or 3 years, what we're able to do now with the refi with you is get an interest rate. We're going to save like $150 a month just in interest.
That's amazing.
So we would be silly not to look at refinancing. Let's talk about what you're doing.
Okay, well, I'm going to do a refi with a construction piece, right?
Yeah, so your program is a home style renovation, and it's a conventional renovation loan. And really, the beautiful thing about it is you can do it at a time of purchase, or you can do it at a time of refinance. And it looks at what level of construction you want to do on your home, and it lends you money based on that level of construction plus your current value. A lot of times people always want to do these type of loans, but they're very scared to do them, and especially in our market. Lenders kind of shy away from renovation lending because historically they have a bad name for being a very cumbersome product, which they can be, and they take a while to close in a lot of cases. If you know what you're doing and you have a structure set up in place to be able to handle the loans, they're great programs. They're a wonderful way for you to be able to update your home, get what you want, not have to worry about anything. This is a great way to do it. In her case, we're able to go in and do $40,000 of renovations on a home that's already immaculate and beautiful, and be able to make even more improvements to the property.
Yeah. What are you doing to your house?
So
Chelsea is one of those people who lives in this gorgeous, unbelievable, and she'll sit there and go,
no, okay.
Maybe I should just gut the
Probably
kitchen.
has something to do with the family.
Let me tell you just a little story.
Okay.
I bought this house 7 years ago, and it was a foreclosure, and it was in terrible shape. It was in terrible shape. It was
Yeah, it
literally the worst house in the best neighborhood, that kind of thing, right? That's what you want. And so I saw the opportunity. I jumped on it. I bought it the day after Christmas, 2012. And I gave myself until February 1, 2013 to do as much renovation as I could. And I was moving in February 1. Yeah. And so I did a lot. I painted, I refinished floors, I got granite in the kitchen, I redid my bathroom, I did a lot of things. I scraped ceilings, but what I never addressed was kitchen kitchen cabinets, which are 1999 originals. Nice. Okay, which are fine. I painted them. They worked for me for the last 7 years. No, they worked for me for the last 7 years, but you know, I have a remodeling design construction company, and I install beautiful cabinets in other people's houses every day. So I'm like,
why not treat yourself? Right?
Why can't I get some of those, right? No. I want some soft clothes. So we're gonna redo the kitchen, and that granite, that beautiful granite that I put in 7 years ago, I'm gonna refabricate that, and I'm gonna put it into 3 bathrooms that have original cultured marble that I never touched. Okay. Wow. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to add an upstairs laundry room. So we're going to have 2 laundry rooms. I have a question
about that. A lot of people go for those big floor-to-ceiling, 2-story foyers.
Yep, I'm not into it.
Doing something else.
I'm not into it. We have a 2-story foyer, and there's a huge picture window in the 2nd story, and it shines right into our bedroom. Okay. And so the sun wakes Ammon up every morning. And so part of me convincing him that we should actually do this, I was like, babe, if we make that space, this 2nd story space, a laundry room, guess what? We get a wall and a door. So that window is not going to be a factor in waking you up in the mornings. And he was like, yeah, sounds great. So we're gonna do a laundry room upstairs, because my bedroom, the nursery, my stepdaughter's bedroom are all upstairs. We do have a bedroom downstairs, but it doesn't get used.
Nobody likes carrying the laundry.
Nobody likes carrying laundry.
I grew up in a 3-story house with a basement.
Nope.
2 stories. I was always that guy.
Nope.
I had to carry the laundry.
It's the worst. Yep. Yeah. So upstairs laundry and the downstairs laundry, we're gonna keep it so it can be a laundry room, but we're probably gonna use it as like Ammon's hunting storage room. Okay. Yeah. So
fish cleaning station.
I will gladly put a sink and a deep freeze in there if it gets it out of my kitchen. So yeah.
So talk about how the loan's being structured. And so, okay, she has a house. She wants to do some renovations. What is the process? Because I would assume, is there an appraisal done before and after? What's the process?
Let's talk the exact same program that we worked on with her, and I'll go step by step. So on hers, what we did is we had to identify what is the scope of work that we were wanting to do. In her case, she knew exactly what she wanted. It wasn't too difficult in order to figure out what she was looking for. And the goal is to come up with what a value is that's going to cost. And the key is when you're doing it, is you have to find a good contractor who understands to be able to break it up into material cost and labor cost, because that's important as you're moving through a renovation process, especially for how you're paid and different things as a contractor. But once you identify the cost of your repair, depending on what that cost is, if it's less than $35,000, you go right off of that value, that cost breakdown. If it's more than $35,000, then you do what's called a HUD review. And that HUD reviewer comes out, he looks at the property, looks at your scope of work, and he actually puts it into a HUD certified document that will be kind of the indicator of what this should cost someone to do. And it just is kind of a check and a balance to make sure that if you're estimating $40,000 on a repair, it's not really going to cost you in the long run $65,000. They want to make sure that what it costs is going to be enough to cover the job. So once that process is done, that's step 2. Then we order the actual appraisal. So the appraiser is going to come out, use the HUD document, and review that to make sure that the house is going to appraise for enough. And then what we do is we lend off that post-renovated value.
Okay.
That's the new value that we use. In that case, all that we're doing is a straight refinance. And in a refinance, you can lend up to the full value of the property for allowed limits. So what that means is for the home style renovation, we could do up to 97% if we wanted to. If we wanted to, we could do up to 96.5% on the FHA version. So you can really get creative with how much you can lend, and all of that is rolled into one payment. And in your case, I don't think your payment went up all that much for what you were doing. I think in some, it might have actually went down a little bit.
In some aspects, because I did have a home equity line, and so we're rolling everything in.
Yeah.
So when you take into account my mortgage payment and my payments on that lock, I'm saving money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she's getting what she wants. She's able to upgrade the home to what she needs, and she's not having to break the bank.
And I'm essentially paying off a couple cars.
Yeah. and all you have to do is you only have to qualify for a mortgage. So a lot of people look at this as, oh, I got to go to a bank and get a big renovation loan, or I have to get this extra money, or a credit card. No, please stop. Don't do that with a credit card.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money that you're wasting. A mortgage, you can put it on the mortgage, make it a lot more palatable to swallow because you're looking at spreading it over 30 years.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to do so.
Yeah.
So that's really the breakdown of how that works.
How is the money paid out, though? As the work
closing. So how that works is there's a couple different ways that you can work it. If we are drawing it out into a larger process like what she is doing, you can do up to 5 different draw periods where
draws to pay contractors.
Yeah.
draws to pay contractors. Now, the benefit is that when we close on the loan, and this is why I said it was important to structure it to where we have the cost factor for the materials and then the labor cost. When you break that out, the contractor can be paid the cost of materials or a portion towards the cost of materials at closing. So they get money up front. They're going to have money for that process. They're not going to be out that money to go get materials. And then as the process moves along, there's going to be up to 5 draw periods where they can get a portion of that money paid out to them.
Yeah. So if you're a small business contractor, you're not having to float a big job.
Exactly. It's tough to do so.
Yeah, very tough. At what point do you get that contractor involved? When you're doing the estimates for repairs?
That's the step 1.
Very beginning.
You have to do the person in the beginning. And this is the make or break part of the whole process, because it's not as easy as it was in this one. You a lot of times are getting contractors telling you we're 2 months out, 3 months out, can't even come out and quote your job. If we can't get a quote to start the project, or if you're doing this on a purchase, that's really going to kill the deal. You have to get a good contractor in line, know who you're going to work with, find out how you're going to structure the deal and make that work for you. In this case, we had the contractor already in place. We knew what we were looking to do. We were able to get the quote, and that whole process was turned around in a matter of maybe 3 or 4 days.
What are the requirements for the contractor? I would assume that every Joe Bob and Jim Bob with a pickup truck are not going to qualify for this. What are the requirements for the contractor to be involved?
So you do have to be licensed.
Okay.
You do have to be insured, and you do have to have history of completing similar projects.
Which
And
eliminates.
if the home was prior to 1978, you have to have like a
Lead-based
lead-based paint certification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, that can be a challenge for some. But in this case, the biggest part of that is a factor is, have they done previous projects? Because there's a lot of people who have not done a $40,000 renovation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that have done $15,000, $20,000 bathrooms. They likely are not going to be approved to do the job.
Right.
And what that is more so, it's designed to protect the consumer so that we are not the next news story about a fly-by-night person not doing the job. We're lending on a very different structure. It's not a lending program that's based on anything other than that particular construction model for what you're wanting to do for the home. So it's very important that we look at the value of what that contractor brings to the table to make sure that they're going to do the job they're hired to do.
Talk a little bit about the thing you keep saying is you've got to find a good contractor, which is the hardest part.
Yeah.
You know that you're a contractor. Well, you said that they'd had to what finish like 90% of their past projects.
Yeah.
That's going to eliminate a fair number. No offense, save your hate mail. We've been through this before, but so the contractor has to be approved by Calibur.
Yes.
To be able to participate in. The homeowner couldn't just bring any old contractor. They have to go through some kind of vetting that you just talked about.
So they're
qualify.
big on the word qualifying contractor.
Right.
So a qualifying contractor, like I say, is someone who can show that they are able to perform
Okay.
a project like this. It's not going to be someone who, like you say, is running out of the back of their truck, although there are probably great people running out of the back of their truck.
They have great trucks.
In this case, it's probably not going to be the person that gets this job.
Right. What are some of the things you thought about before you decided to do this process? Because you've done this for other folks, right?
As
You've
far
done
as
remodels,
what I wanted
renovations.
to do?
Yeah, and calculating what it was going to cost.
Well, so like I said, I own a construction business. We're a licensed Alabama home builder.
You got a little more insight than the normal consumer.
Right. Yeah. So, I was able to, I knew, what was going to be my biggest cost would be kitchen cabinets and kitchen countertops because I want top of the line quartz. And, I've recently used top of the line quartz. So I know exactly what 2 slabs cost. So I know what 3 slabs would cost, which is probably what's going to have to happen in my kitchen. So, I was fully aware of a good majority of the costs because, I already designed my kitchen.
Yeah.
I already designed every single cabinet and I have, I know exactly what that's going to cost. So for me, that was a little bit easier than for most, because I know a lot of people, if they don't have any insight into this part of the business, they're not going to, maybe they want a full, beautiful kitchen, but they think like, oh, $10,000 will get it. But, that'll get you cabinet materials, not installed.
Let's go even deeper into that. You have a beautiful home already. You want it to make it even nicer, kind of bring it up to the modern times. But what's nice about this program is if someone's buying a home, because it doesn't have to be just on a refinance.
Right.
If someone's buying a home, you can buy it under a renovation program. Some of the things that qualifies, let's say you want to put a new roof on it. Let's say you want to come into the home and have a brand new set of appliances. All of that can be done, and we don't have to look at any delays in the closing process. This all can be done in the same time frame. We have a relationship also set up with Home Depot to where we're able to do a lot of these projects through Home Depot, and they're actually already an approved person that we can go through and use as that contractor, which we can use for the appliances.
Interesting.
And all of those things like that. And so it's a great way that we can streamline the process as well. But let's go even deeper on that and say that when you do a renovation loan on a purchase, if they have foundation damage, you can do that. You can repair it. You can take the home down to a concrete slab and rebuild it.
Start over.
If you wanted to. Wow. It is incredible the things that you can do. You can move walls. You can really get intense with the renovation part of it. Now, all of those, you can go crazy, but will your neighborhood support that type of
Sure.
Right.
That's really what you want to look at, the pros and the cons of doing something that intensive. But it is possible, and that's really the beauty of the renovation program. Think about 203Ks if you Think of a 203K. If you've heard of that, that's renovation lending through an FHA. Home style renovation, that's a conventional renovation program. All those can apply towards refinance or purchase.
Yeah. And you've done this. You actually have worked with clients who bought a house that needed work and did the work before you closed on it. Talk about that.
Well, not before we closed on it. Oh, are you talking about my most recent one?
Yes. That was a special one?
That was a special. Well, I bought that house as a flip.
Oh, okay.
I bought that house as a flip, and it was already down to the studs. Yes, the house of horrors.
See this house.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's great. So I closed on it, and it just sat there because we had other projects to do, and that was the most cumbersome one, and we just avoided it for as long as we could. And then we started demoing it, and we took it down to the studs. We removed, we removed subfloor, we removed sheetrock, we removed everything. And I had some clients come into town from California, and I was showing them California budget houses, and one of them was up the street from this one, and I pointed it out, and I said, hey, that's one of my flips. And they said, well, can we go see it? And I thought they were just being like nice, And by the time we walked through it and I told them what all my plans were, they said, I'll write you a check for earnest money today. And I was like, okay, cool. And but they wanted me to just finish it out like I had told them I would. They didn't want it. They didn't want anything to do with the process. They wanted me to do my thing, and so that was
that's
great.
Different.
That was a little different. Yeah. It was great, but it's a little different. But yeah.
But if someone came to you and said, "Hey, we want to buy this house that needs a lot of work, and we want you as a contractor to do the work for us," this kind of loan would be perfect.
So here's what's nice about that. Yes, you can do that. You don't do it before you move in. You actually do it after you close on the loan, and it's home. It's home.
Right.
You have 6 months to complete the project.
Okay.
So what's beautiful about that is if you're not living in the home, you can actually finance the monthly mortgage payments into the renovation loan yourself. So you're actually, for the 6 months that you're working on the home, you're not even making a payment because you financed it in. Your first payment's not going to be due until after you move into that home at the 6th month.
Yeah, that's pretty convenient.
It's incredible the way that you can do this. And what happens, though, is people look at the process. It's cumbersome.
Yeah.
But not for a company like Calibur who knows what we're doing. We've got an entire team that's structured. We do these often. I can think of right now 2 of them that we have going on in the office. And for a lot of lenders, they might do 2 in their career. We've got 2 just this month, and we had quite a few before that. So it's a very common product that we understand the workings and the outside and how it all works, and makes it a lot easier.
Okay.
Well, and one thing people probably wouldn't think of that I found surprising is you can do like an in-ground pool.
Right.
That's crazy. You want a house with a pool. You find the perfect house that doesn't have a pool. Let's finance that pool into your mortgage. That's amazing.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say you run into a problem with doing the pool. A pool can be a love-hate relationship for a lot of people. And since you are wanting to look at that post-approved value,
right?
What type of value does a pool add for that neighborhood is going to be a lot of the questions that we have to look at. And that's why you have to look at, if you're in a neighborhood that a lot of the homes have pools that you're comparing your property to, maybe a great fit for you.
Yeah.
But if that's the only pool in a neighborhood and you're trying to get $45,000 extra value, that might be a tough one to pull off, but they are absolutely possible to do.
Yeah, that was surprising to me that you could.
Definitely. That's cool to do.
It's a cool program. It really opens up a lot of opportunities for folks if they want to do the true fixer-upper model. That kind of is what goes with this, right?
Yeah. The fixer-upper models are definitely, and let me throw this in there, interest rates are no different than what a traditional mortgage would be.
Really?
You're looking at the same common interest rates for it.
All right.
So it's not like this program's costing someone 7-8% interest. This is what you would see your traditional mortgages quote out for.
Okay, awesome. Last words?
Black Door Designs is an approved contractor with Calibur Home Loans.
So let's talk a little bit about that, because we all kind of work together. Chelsea is a partner here in Revolved Realty, but you also own Black Door Designs. Tell everybody about what that is.
So when my husband and I first got married, we started a company called Black Door Designs because I always paint, well, not anymore, I guess, but I used to always paint the interior doors of any house we were flipping black. it's beautiful. It makes a statement. It's different than the traditional. And so hence the name Black Door Designs. Now we go with gray. We can go with blue. We're fine. We're open to other colors. But anyway, we started this company in 2014. And it was originally just for our flips and, marketing ourselves. And then we got people who wanted us to do their renovations, and we gladly obliged. And so we do a range. We try not to do too much small stuff, but I would say our renovations range between like 20,000 and 200,000. And
we're talking HGTV stuff here. I'm in the process of redoing a house to sell. And I take Chelsea Granite shopping with me. She has to pick it out. And she's picking out this. And I'm like, here's my budget. Here's the Chelsea McKinney budget. We got to go back down here a little bit.
Well, granite's an important piece of the puzzle.
I know, but it's just rock. I don't get. Anyway, so you can help with these kind of renovations. You've got a great track record of doing it.
Sure can.
Stephen, a great time to finance, refinance, and renovate.
Yes.
All right. How do folks get a hold of you?
Give me a call, 256-724-2500. Best way to reach me. I've got my phone on me most times, so if you can't get me, leave me a message. I'll get back to you.
If you can't get him, go, why aren't you picking up my call?
Yeah,
That's just me.
What was it today? You called me. You're like, all right, that was a test.
Wow, you actually answered. I'm impressed. So how do they get a hold of Black Door Designs?
Black Door Designs, don't call me. I'm just saying that because most of the time I will have a sleeping baby on me. Text me. Please text me. 256-679-7797. Or you can email me at chelsea@revolved.com.
Yep. And if we can do anything for you when it comes to real estate, buying or selling, renovating, you name it, we kind of do it all. Look us up on the web at revolved.com. My number is 256-679-0704.
Oh, I got something else.
Go for
all
it.
right. Everybody that has an Instagram, now go to @BlackDoorBuilds and follow us on Instagram, because on my birthday, which is a mere 12 days away, we're going to do a drawing. All of our Instagram followers. Yep. Thank you. We're going to do a drawing for a $100 gift card, and you get to pick where to. So it's either Lowe's or Duluth Trading or at home. So if you want some workwear, work materials, or design materials, we got you covered. So go follow us at Black Door Builds on Instagram.
Good deal. And we'll put links to everything below. Hey, this is fun. We're starting back up. Maybe next week, Archer McKinney will make an appearance.
If Auntie C has to work. All
right, guys, if we can do anything for you, give us a call. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Say bye, Stephen.
Bye.